Greetings. I have some very important business that I need you to assist me with. My story is, I believe, quite unique. Long ago, I traveled to a far-off village where I was able to construct a most ingenious game with the help of my assistant, the mammoth. This became known as my first great work. Journeying on, we arrived on a remote island. Here, my second great work took shape, making use of the rather explosive materials to hand. However, events took a strange turn, and we found ourselves launched into space and locked into orbit around the moon. To relieve the tedium, I began instructing some astronauts on the moon in the construction of my third great work. However, we have now been up here quite long enough, and in the meantime, my great works in the village, on the island, and on the moon have all fallen into disrepair. I need a bright young scientist to rebuild my three great works using the blueprints and inventor's journal contained within this bag. Of course, once you have released me from this rather inconvenient orbit, you can join me for my triumphant return to Earth. Before you start, please fill in your record card. Choose your name from the list of users, or click the New User button to add your name to the list. Select the level you want to play the quiz. Being an account heavily but only partly encumbered by scientific exactitude, I humbly offer my great work, Pinball Science, essential in all respects for successful and safe conduct in all interactions with the great woolly mammoth and assorted machines. Lever flippers on a forceful direction. One of the first experiments in the construction of my great work involved devising a way to direct the progress of the stone balls around the playing field. My initial idea involved employing some of the enthusiastic villagers to maneuver the balls for me. However, I encountered a surprising lack of volunteers for this task, the villagers being too frightened by the size of the balls. Faucet on keeping mammoths awake. One of my more successful additions to village life was the water tank. Water collected in the tank from a nearby stream, removing the need for arduous water-carrying journeys. The only problem was regulating the flow of water from the tank's pipe. Initially, I employed a mammoth to block the pipe with his trunk. Although effective in the short term, in time this method produced a waterlogged mammoth. Boxing glove launcher. Utilizing the energy of pugilism, which means boxing. It was while observing a villager trying his hand at a fairground boxing booth that I got an idea for launching the giant balls required by my great work. The transfer of muscle power into the ball, which was the source of much fun for the villagers, made me think that perhaps I could find a better use for this energy source. Spring on an unusual earthquake simulator. During the testing of my great work, I found that I was spending a large percentage of my weekly budget on replacing lost balls. I was mystified as to why so many balls, once launched, sailed clean over the top of my inventions, never to be seen again. I could only attribute this to some minor mechanical fault, combined with the overenthusiasm of the villagers employed in testing my great work. Gears on curing a fear of stairs. The villagers have long inhabited simple single-story houses. It was with disbelief, therefore, that they viewed my first two-story home. They were even more amazed by the stairs used to access the top floor. So amazed, in fact, that they refused to set foot on them. It was in order to solve this tricky problem that I came to develop my river-powered villager lifting device. Mammoth dip on early artificial snow. Winter is keenly anticipated by young mammoths. The first sign of snow is accompanied by the sight of the foolhardy animals indulging in the radical sport of tray racing. Warm, sunny spring weather, however, sees the mammoths robbed of their pastime. Trays simply don't slide over grass. One spring, unable to bear the sight of sulking mammoths any longer, I resolved to discover a solution to their problem. Target on helping the villagers become inventors. Wintertime in the village sees remarkable demonstrations of many intriguing pastimes. The fine art of snowballing is my own particular favorite. The villagers lost no opportunity in showing me how accurate their shots could be, and, somewhat sodden, I resolved to become better at the sport. To do this, I would need plenty of practice. Hot air balloon on flying tents. As construction of my great work neared completion, I often found it necessary to spend long hours supervising the villagers as they worked. One particularly cold and rainy day, I devised a waterproof tent to make life in the field more pleasant. This led me to inventing, by chance, the hot air balloon. Please wait. Your great work is being assembled. Remember, you need to place at least one of each type of component before you can progress. Please wait. Your great work is being assembled. component has already been placed. You can choose another or move this component around the blueprint. Please wait. Your great work is being assembled.